The Chelsea headhunters are a well-known name on the terraces with some well-known names from the early days, from Martin King to Mark Alloway, who is now a deeply religious man, and Steve Hickmount, known as the General. There are a lot of notorious names. Chris Chubby Henderson, that was involved in the first police operation called Own Goal, and it was an own goal because it found out that the police were falsifying evidence. We'll also be talking about Jason Marriner and the Donal McIntyre documentary, in which Jason Marriner got a fair bit of bird, and also Andy Frain, also known as Andy the Nightmare Frain. So let's begin.
One of the ringleaders of the infamous Chelsea headhunters.
On our trial, the three policemen who were giving evidence against us were all asked the same question first. Did you at any time go with them on a coach, go with them on the train, or go with them in a group? And they went no, because we'd have been sussed out straight away. And the prosecution came in and said, look, you've all read the papers, you've all seen the news, I've got confidence in the police notes, so I'm going to send them away for our own forensic tests. And 3 days later he came back and he said, oh, well, we've made a mistake, they're forged. We got no charges, so we got released.
The acquittals are a major embarrassment for the police, who have made great play of the success of their undercover operations in the fight against football hooliganism. Tonight, Scotland Yard said a full investigation was underway.
Self-confessed hooligan Chris Henderson not only walked free from Knightsbridge Crown Court, he also went on to win £25,000 in compensation from the police.
They had all along denied that they were the infamous headhunter gang. The prosecution claimed they had made elaborate plans to start trouble at games, psyching themselves up beforehand by watching hours of videos of the Brixton and Heysel Stadium riots. But as the 6-week trial lurched to a sudden halt, the men said they had simply been loyal supporters.
The only conspiracy was a police conspiracy against legitimate Chelsea fans. That's all I can say, really. We're not guilty.
What do you make of the evidence that came out in court?
It was Hollywood script. Yeah, I got the compensation about 5-6 years ago. That was £25,000. I was living in Thailand at the time, so then I bought a bar in Thailand called the Dog's Bollocks in Pattaya, and ever since then I've sent the police every year a Christmas card, hoping they're getting on very well directing traffic in Fulham.
The campaign to shatter the hooligan firms had been a shambles. But ironically, even as the cases were collapsing, hooliganism was to suffer a blow from an unlikely source: drugs.
People have held up the drug and rave scene as being one of the reasons why football violence dropped off, because there was a new thing for people to get the buzz. And I've got to accept that that was probably part of it, because a lot of people who were at the drug and rave scene were undoubtedly the same people who we'd seen at the football team.
For many of the football thugs, the ecstasy high had replaced the buzz of the fight. And to the dismay of the hooligan hardcore, it replaced violent urges with peaceful ones.
It just stopped football violence for about 2 years. It just became like a hooligan loving. Friends weren't really into it, you know. In fact, we brought out a T-shirt, Hooligans Against Acid, because it was ruining it for us, because everyone was friends. You'd go everywhere and they'd go, oh no, I know him, I was at a rave with him the other night, he's all right, you know. And it just, well, for about 2 or 3 years, it was just completely dead.
Ever heard me say I won the firm? I was well respected over there,
Yeah.
and still am. Still very close to all my pals now. Andy, all of them, I'm still very close to them. Just because I don't go. Icky, I'm very close to him. Chubby Chris, who's dead now. Boom, boom. Tony Cavelli, one of my closest pals, who's dead now. Right, at Chelsea and whatever. So he knows nothing. The geezer knows nothing, right? But let me tell you, I was born in 1967, right? It was 1984. What would that? Maybe it was 17, wasn't I? Right, I was going. That was the height of us and what have you. But at that time, the likes of Icky, who's 10 years older than me. Well, he was, because I went to his 60th in Benidorm, so I'm 54. So yeah, I think he's 63, maybe, Steve. Right. and all them, right? You know, that's who I looked up to, and then they would have looked up to the likes of Babsy and whatever that I've, you know, am now pals with and whatever. But you know, but the Headhunters was just the name and whatever. Listen. Everyone has things. There's a new generation now. I don't know who they are. I don't go. I live 6,000 miles away. But you never ever have heard me say I was the leader of the game. I was the leader of the pack. It's not how it works. You know, you have your front runners and you're this, that and the other, and your people that get amongst it and you're this, that and the other. Everyone gets the bits and pieces of it. What happened was in the early 80s, everyone started having cards made, and our cards was you've been nominated and dealt with by the Chelsea Headhunters, and it was a calling card. Mill had the F Troop and whatever. West Ham had the RCF, and you know, Arsenal had the Herd, and Tottenham had the Yids, and you know, it was a thing. It was part of growing up. It was, you know, you probably look at it now and think, oh, was you growing up? But it was the thing. It wasn't nothing to do with the press. See, so it wasn't the press. Everyone give this, and if you go back on a lot of my interviews, people have asked me where did the name come from. I honestly don't know. It was just made up one time. I don't know if it was, you know, it just come out of the woodwork. Headhunters, which was the skull and crossbone. I certainly didn't make the name up, you know what I mean? And it's just the way it is. But
Andy Frain, a well-known figure on the Chelsea terraces. People know him as Andy the Nightmare Frain. He was involved with the Donal McIntyre documentary, and you actually see Donal McIntyre shoot himself when Andy Frain gets in the back of his car and starts organising a meet with 150 Leicester's baby squad.
In the files, one man's name keeps cropping up: Andy Frain. He's one of the country's most feared hooligans. The police have been after him for years, and with some success. He's got over 30 convictions, but has only ever been given short sentences, and after every one, he's soon been back on the street organising football violence. Andy and Jason are helping coordinate 150 Chelsea hooligans as they travel up the M1 for a showdown with the Leicester fans.
Hello Dave, it's Nightmare. Alright, are you on the road yet?
The coaches start from different points and take different routes. The drivers don't know it, but this is to avoid the police.
Yeah, they've got 150. Said they're at Amsterdam now causing grief, I don't know what they're doing. There's another coach coming from Sheen. Somewhere in Sheen, yeah. See, they're going the back door. They're going to M1 something, A6 or something like that. Said, yeah, someone still sat on the coach. Said they're all out causing trouble. Them all Hempstead. So they're down. I said, how have we got? We're up to full strength. So that will do. Beers are flowing, he said. Swinging beer, snorting Charlie and eating sandwiches.
I'm not even going to the game.
Stick with us.
I'm beginning to wonder what I've got myself into. I chew gum and smile nervously to try and cover up how uncomfortable I feel.
Coach you on? It's a what? I'll fucking just pass you. No. Just pass you. Does it say London coaches, Ken? Are you, listen to me, are you in a white London coach, Ken coach? I'm just in front of you.
Frain has brought the phone number of a Leicester contact in order to confirm the details of the fight.
to eat and be physically sick. Yeah, we go to his house and that. Yeah. That's how you find all right. The postman's arrived. Special delivery from his
A previous fight had been called off because Leicester brought too few hooligans.
You'll be dead in fucking 2 seconds. I said, you come here, fucking 5-hander. I said, take me after you, well done. I said, we've got 50 geezers here, we'll strip you out. We're not dealing with muppets here. And he said, all right, we'll go back and tell him. I said, this is you trying on now, mate. He was on the phone, we're coming. They 32 of us. We had 60 arms waiting as well. They said, yeah, advance, guards, and nothing else. And then we got to run fucking traffic. I swear, God, there must have been 70 old Bill. There was about 30 for road police dragons. They just arrested everyone. I got a pocket full of cucumbers playing calling cards. They didn't go down too well. Yeah, that's how they take us to the tower.
Italian restaurant. There is CCTV, Hammersmith and Fulham. Numerous missiles still being thrown, bricks, missiles, traffic signs, traffic cones. Mounted branch deployed, doing short advances. There's a Hyde Park corner bus, number T1505CO, mounted branch of a subject involved in the disorder.
Finally, we seem to have a new film coming out from the chaps that are behind Rise of the Foot Soldier series. Well, after the first two, after Colton quit. Nick Neverne. This film, as far as anyone knows, will be called Headhunter, and it will be based on former Chelsea headhunter Jason Marriner. Now, Jason is very well known. He's written a couple of books. He appeared in Real Football Factories with Danny Dyer, the London edition. He was on the documentary Hooligan and Proud on Channel 5, but he probably wants to forget that. But what made him famous or infamous was the McIntyre documentary, which I believe he ended up getting a 6-year sentence. I imagine that the undercover documentary will be a big part of the film. So let's hear from Jason himself on his podcast, It's Only a Game.
2.5 years ago, I get a phone call off of Andy Loveday, who's behind the scene, was one of the producers of Rise of the Foot Soldier. And said he wants to make the film about me, blah, blah, blah. I said, Andy, I'm not interested, I'm bored with this has been going on. His exact words to me was, I make things happen.
I said, yeah, all right, we'll see about that. He said, you're interested? I said, listen, you do what you want to do. If I don't, Liam, the truth of it is, if I don't take the deal,
yes,
they can move a few things about and do this, that and the other and make the film without me and okay, it's not then be based on true life and whatever, and still make the film and I don't get any money. So what's the point of that? So I said, yeah. Yes. And there we go. The script is here. Right? The script is physically here. Right, that I'm going through. They went to Cannes, so they worked on the script for 9 months. Andy, Nick Nevin, another fella, Tom as well. And it's been the best kept secret, the 2.5 years, then the 9 months, and blah blah blah. It goes very quiet because you don't hear of anything. These things don't happen overnight. As I say, 17 years ago, I got a post and talk boring. I've had more meetings than Kenton and Sandown put together. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's now, and then they went to Cannes Festival. I've gone live with it and said, right, now tell the nation, now tell the world that we're making the film. We're going live, so it's out there in the public. Everyone knows it's going to be. It's coming out, or not everyone knows. I mean,
so it's fantastic that you're going to get a script about your life and a film made out of it. I mean, that's like you say, it's been a long time in the making.
I just think, look, you know me. I'm just me. I'm a kid off the street. Blah blah blah. You get all the haters, but the people who love me know me and they listen. I like a bit of banter. I like to have a laugh and a joke. Like to have the crack. Like everyone does, or like most people do in life. But
so who's going to be playing you? Who's going to play you, Jason?
I don't know, but what I can tell you is their budget is not cheap there. Right. Their budget is not cheap. So, and I don't know. I've got an idea we might be playing the Glass.
Yes.
I don't know if I can say that, so I won't at the moment. I'll ask that question, and then a later date thing. And but it's a name. Trust me, it's a name. Right? They're not looking at. They got a budget here, mate. I'm telling you. You know, in between, and it's a few quid, mate. It's not. This ain't. This is going to be big. It's going to be big. I'll tell you that now. 1,000,000%. I think it's fair. It's like to have a film made about it. It's a massive accolade, I believe, right?
Yes. Not
because it's me. Freddie Foreman has had a film made about him. Why not? He is an absolute legend. So, you know, one of my favourite, you know what, I know I'm very close to him. I just pulled him out of the bag. He's done documentaries. He hasn't had a film made about him. Men should have a film made about it. Don't worry about that. I just think it's a massive accolades. But anyway.
I think it's brilliant, Jason, because I think it's a great story. And, you know, people love all that football hooligan stuff. And then there's the, you know, a personal story and the jail and the whole thing. I think it's going to be a fantastic movie.
Started casting anybody yet. So I can't tell you who's in it or even when it's going to be out. I think they, you know, for other scenes, I think they need to include Chelsea versus Cardiff kickoff back in the FA Cup, and other scenes as well. But all in all, I'm glad that another film is coming out because we haven't had a football hooligan film for years. I mean, the last film was back in 2014, I think, and that was The Governors. And that wasn't really a straight football film. That was more retired football hooligans versus hoodies on a revenge tip. Of course, there's going to be scenes that are going to be exaggerated and it's going to get its haters. But it's a film after all, so it's got to be entertaining. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be called Headhunter. And there'll be more videos coming from UK Casuals soon.